At 68 years old, I had long ago accepted idea that I would spend my life alone. I had raised my children, built a successful career, and enjoyed a wonderful marriage to my late husband Alan. We had shared everything, laughter, tears, and all the milestones life throws at you, but after Alan passed away 5 years ago, I found myself wandering through life, feeling as though something was missing. I filled my time with volunteer work, gardening, and spending time with my grandchildren, but deep down I couldn't shake the feeling that I was just going through the motions. At first I told myself that I didn't need any O'Neills. I was independent, strong, and could handle it all, but there were quiet moments, especially at night, when I would lie awake and remember the warmth of Alan's presence, his hand in mine, the sound of his voice. I missed it all. The companionship, the intimacy. The quiet moments that made life feel like it had meaning, but who would want to start over at my age? Was it even possible? On evening, as I sat by the window sipping me tea, Linda, my college friend, called to invite me to her granddaughter's wedding. First, I hesitated. I wasn't particularly fond of weddings anymore. They brought back memories of better days and made me feel more acutely the absence of a partner, but Linda insisted, and I didn't want to disappoint her, so I decided to go, telling myself it would be good to get out of the house. The wedding was beautiful, and as expected there were moments of joy mixed with a sense of melancholy. Everyone was so full of life, and I found myself watching young couples dance and laugh, wishing I could part of that youthful energy again. But something happened during the reception that I never saw coming. While sitting at the edge of the dance floor watching the festivities, I noticed a man sitting alone at a corner table. He was in his early 70s, with silver hair and a gentle expression on his face. Immediately felt drawn to him. Although he wasn't sure why, maybe it was because he saw in his eyes something familiar, quiet longing that matched my own. His name was Thomas, and when he saw me looking over, he smiled and waved me over without thinking. I walked to his table, joined the party. He asked, his voice calm but warm. We began talking, and I was by how easy it felt. His voice had a soothing quality, and I could tell had a lifetime of stories to share. Holmes told me that he too had been widowed, and it was clear from his words that he had spent many years alone, just as I had. We spoke about our late spouse, about the life we had shared, and how different things had become since they had passed. There was no sadness in his words, only a quiet acceptance, as though had come to terms with the changes in his life. As the evening went on, we found ourselves laughing about old memories, sharing our thoughts on family, and discussing our favorite books and movie. EC hadn't felt so alive in years. It was as though a part of me that had been dormant for so long had been awakened. I was fascinated by how much we had in common, how easy it was to talk to him. Before I knew it, the evening was drawing to a close, and Thomas stood to say his goodbyes. He smiled at me again and said, "It's rare to meet someone with whom you can talk so easily, especially after so many years of solitude." I didn't want the night to end, but I also didn't want to. So we parted ways with a promise to keep in touch over the next few weeks. Thomas and I began spending more time together. At first it was just simple things: coffee at a local cafe, a walk through the park, a phone call here and there, but as time passed, I realized I was looking forward to seeing him more and more. We had long conversations about our pasts, our children, and our hopes for the future. I realized how much I had missed sharing my life with someone. On evening, after dinner at we found ourselves sitting on a bench outside watching the stars. I had never thought about love again, but as Thomas took my hand in his, he looked at him with such tenderness and said, "I didn't think I could feel this way again, but I am falling in love with you." My heart skipped a beat. I had never imagined that I could love again, not at my age, but in that moment I realized that love doesn't have an expiration date. We can always find it, no matter how old we are. It might not be the same as the love we had before, but it's just as important, just as fulfilling. Now at 71, I wake up each day with a sense of joy that I haven't felt in years. I am in love with Thomas, and he is in love with me. We spend our days enjoying each other's company, traveling when we can, and taking life one day at a time. I never thought I'd find love again, but I did, and it came when I least expected it.